Kalonzo amekuwa na msimamo from day one. In fact, the watermelon of Kenya ni huyu Raila Odinga.
Tuwezi kubali ale ndugu yetu anaenda kuungana na watu wengine wakora, wanafundisha yeye mambo ambaye sio yake. Yeye ni muungwana, yeye ni mstaarabu, yeye ni wakili kama mimi, yeye ni msomi, yeye ni mtu organize, yeye ni mtu ya kanisa. Kweli si kweli?
I respect my friend Raila Odinga. I spent a sizable chunk of my own life supporting him and standing with him. I repeat, I've spent a sizable chunk of my own life on earth supporting Raila Odinga.
My conscience will not allow me. For the love of this nation, we will stand. Hata williamruto anajua Kalonzo atakuwa mpinzani wake.
Kalonzo Musyoka, once a dependable ally, now a man squeezed between ambition and principle. As the political heat rises, both government and opposition are vying for his allegiance. Deputy President Kindiki actually recently came out publicly making open gestures that he's trying to draw him, to join the government. ODM has been sending emissaries and letters to Kalonzo publicly, telling him that they need his loyalty and he needs to come back to ODM, even with the recent meeting that was supposed to happen. But Kalonzo has repeatedly said, I will not abandon the opposition and the people. Quite interesting times because, majorly Kalonzo has been known as the watermelon or someone who doesn't have a stand. But currently, he's actually showing us who he truly is. Anyway, before we even proceed, welcome back to another episode of, WeeKenyans. I want you to take 3 seconds of this video to just hit on that subscribe button if you haven't subscribed yet. And also, hit on that notification button so that anytime we do a video, you're able to be notified. In recent months, calls for Kalonzo to join the government has really amplified. Kindiki, in particular, has publicly said that Kalonzo, is being wooed, and he has promised Kenya Kwanza that he is really talking to Kalonzo and he hasn't given up, and he is eating at an invitation into the government ranks.
Mimi bado na jaribu namna hii. Bado hata ule ndugu yangu, I have not given up. Yeah, I have not given up. Namna hii, don't worry, msiwe na haraka. Namna hii, namwambia kuja tusaidiane sasa. Songe. Niendelee nisiendelee. Yeah, naenda kushikana na watu wengine hapo wa bure, watu ya matusi, na yeye ni mtu mungwana. He's a good man, decent man. Sasa wanaenda kumfundisha mambo ya matusi, mambo ya ukabila, na he's a good man. So mimi musijali, mimi namna hii. Bana, tuwezi kubali ale ndugu yetu anaenda kuungana na watu wengine wakora, wanafundisha yeye mambo ambaye sio yake. Yeye ni muungwana, yeye ni mstaarabu, yeye ni wakili kama mimi, yeye ni msomi, yeye ni mtu organize, yeye ni mtu ya kanisa. Kweli si kweli? So mwambie namna hii. Yes. Akuja tupangane namna hii. Kwa sababu mimi na yeye hakuna tofauti. Iko tofauti yangu na nyinyi? Iko tofauti ya hapa na pale? Sisi yote ni dunia moja. Sisi ni watu moja. We are one community. Sasa naona hapa Muthengi Ndagara. Si huyu ni mtu ya Kitui? Huyu Muthengi Ndagara anatoka huko Kitui, huko Mwingi. Ni mtu ya Mwingi huyu, Mwingi North. Yes. Lakini anaongea Kitharaka. Hata Wakamba wengine wako hapa chini kwa huko Tharaka. Wanaishi huku ndio kwao. So musiletewe mgawanyiko ambao hakuna.
Well, Kalonzo has actually refused again and again, and he has said that he will never join the government. He has made his stance clear that he will never join a regime that has considered to be responsible of killing, the young Kenyans who went out to demand for accountability. He actually insisted that he will stay on the other side of the people, and he is willing to be with the opposition.
There's been talk that there is someone who is meeting someone at night, someone else is plotting against someone at night, and it is being said that There are emissaries of the president that are being sent to you.
Wacha hiyo puzi bana. Hiyo wewe Sydney. Wacha hiyo puzi bana. Wacha hiyo puzi bana. Wewe Sydney, are you in this country? Watazungumza. Wacha tu wazungumze. Ni Wakenya wenzetu hata hivyo. Wazungumze, wako na haki ya kufikiri. They have the right to imagine. They have the right to dream. If wishes were horses, beggars would ride. These are probably beggars.
ODM too has tried to, woo Kalonzo. They've been sending emissaries and letters to Kalonzo trying to convince him to, join them with Kenya Kwanza. But Kalonzo has remained cautious. He's very skeptical of alliance built on expediency, and he has been very clear that he has refused at all to align with what Ruto wants, despite the pressures. And this shows that he is actually betting on integrity over political convenience. This is what he actually said when he heard that ODM was inviting him.
Very nice letter. My dear brother, as a founder member of ODM, all right, ninakualika kwa shughuli. There will even be a dinner event on the 10th. And unfortunately, I'm going to reply nimwambie on the 10th, we will have the National Delegates Congress of Wiper Patriotic Front. Kwa hivyo mimi sitafika huko. I wish them well. I wish them well. I gather williamruto will also be invited as a founder member, but I will not be there. There's nothing on the table. We have seen that. We have seen that. Therefore, I cannot. By the way, you realize I'm perhaps one of the principals. Of course, you know that. So I cannot jibu swala hilo. Tulisema Raila akiona mambo ni magumu kule, he's one of us. I respect him. I've said that. I respect my friend Raila Odinga. I've spent a sizable chunk of my own life supporting him and standing with him. I repeat, I've spent a sizable chunk of my own life on earth supporting Raila Odinga. So, Mimi, I don't want to say anything more than that.
One of the most interesting developments is that Rigathi Gachagua has now come out publicly in defense of Kalonzo. Gachagua has rejected the common phrase, watermelon, that has been popularly used for a very long time describing Kalonzo as someone without a firm stand. He has actually argued that Kalonzo has been consistent, unlike others. He boldly said the real watermelon currently is Raila Odinga, citing his shifting alliance over the years. Recently in Kajiado, Gachagua actually came out so clearly and told the supporters that Kalonzo should never be judged by the past. The accusation that has been made over him being a watermelon for a very long time has been false, and he has actually been framed over a long time as someone who is not having a stand. But looking at the events and how things have been turning out, actually he's someone who has been, principled, and he has been a true patriot, because standing with Raila for all those years and, being on the side of the people and the opposition shows that he has actually been a person who can be relied on.
Asa, I have studied maneno ya Kalonzo Musyoka. Huyu Raila alikuwa anasema ati Kalonzo ni watermelon. Mimi nimeangalia, Kalonzo has been steadfast kwa msimamo. Raila amemchenga na kumsaliti for 15 years. Hajamwacha hata siku moja. Amemfanyia interview, amemwaibisha, hakumwacha. Kalonzo amekuwa na msimamo from day one. In fact, the watermelon of Kenya ni huyu Raila Odinga. Just do an analysis. Alisimama na Moi 1997, akashindwa, akaenda kwa Moi, kweli? Akashindwa na Kibaki 2007, akashikana na Kibaki. Akashindwa na Uhuru, akaenda kwa Uhuru. Akashindwa na Ruto, akaenda kwa Ruto. Mtu ambaye hana msimamo katika Kenya, the real watermelon of Kenyan politics, ni one Raila Amolo. So hiyo tagu ulikuwa umewekelea Kalonzo, tumekubadika, wewe ndio watermelon. Kalonzo is a patriotic son of this republic. Si ndio? Mimi nimeketi chini na huyu Eugene Wamalwa. Alikuwa offered waziri wa broad based government. Akakataa, akasimama na Wakenya. Nimeketi na Martha Karua, hawezi tingishwa. Juzi nimeongea na Tebea. Akaniambia mtu akisikia ameenda kwa Ruto, ile watu wako karibu na yeye wamshike wapeleke yeye Mathare. So between myself, Kalonzo, Eugene Wamalwa, Martha Karua, George na Tebea, those 5 leaders cannot betray the people of Kenya, and among us tutatoa mtu moja wa kungangana na William Ruto. Tumekubaliana? Na msikuwe confused na hii maneno ya Raila kusema hatujatoa candidate nini. Huyu mzee ni mjaja sana. Pale kwa Ruto ametengeneza group mbili. 2 groups. Ni mzee mjaja. Ni mzee lakini ni mjaja. Group moja ni ya kutoa pesa kwa Ruto. Ile akina Junet kumsifu broad based nini ndio pesa itoke. Na viti na ile mambo wamehaidana na Ruto. La kwa sababu anajua Ruto pia ni conman, hawezi timiza ile mmekubaliana, ameuda group nyingine ya kina Sifuna ya kupiga kelele. Ndio ile maneno wamekubaliana na Ruto wafanye nini? Sasa hii umeona akisema ati hawajaamua kama ODM itasimamisha mtu, ni cheki yake ilikuwa imechelewa. Sasa imetoka, si amenyamaza? Si amenyamaza? Hiyo ndio mchezo Raila anafanya pale. Ako na 2 teams. But I want to confirm Ruto amesema. Na aliniambia mimi nikiwa naibu wake. Hii mzee anaitwa Raila ni mtu ya pesa. Nikiwa na pesa atafanya vile mimi nataka. It has come to pass. Huyu mzee atakuwa na Ruto. Ruto atamlipa, watakuwa pamoja. Lakini ni mzuri so that the people of Kenya can deal with William Ruto and Raila together, one touch, tumalize na shida ya Kenya. Si ndio? Na hata huyu Raila akija kwetu, akuje kule nyuma atupigie kura. Sisi hatutaki akuje atusumbue. Na sisi hatuna pesa ya kupatia yeye. Sijui kama Kalonzo wewe uko na pesa ya kupea hii Raila. Hii mtu ni mhitaji ya pesa. I don't know. Kama kiongozi uko na pesa, ujitayarishe utampatia. Mimi sina. I have no money to give him. Yeah. Sasa ndio tumalize, tuseme asanteni sana watu wetu. Thank you very much.
This public backing actually boosts Kalonzo's reputation, and it highly raises the stakes of him now in both sides, because now he's being a darling of both the opposition and the government, because now everyone is trying to woo him. Kalonzo is in many ways stepping into the vacuum that has been left by Raila's trip, especially after he joined Kenya Kwanza government. Many people now see him as borrowing Raila's path, of ability to mobilize. But now, this time he's doing it with a renewed message of principle. Others suspect maybe he's just hedging his belts, but we can't wait to see. So the big question now is, can Kalonzo maintain, this credibility for a long time without being quoted by the government, especially? Because, being at the opposition is more of a safer side. But could he become the pivotal kingmaker? Because now the coalition that is going to form the government in 2027 will either rely on, such kingmakers. And Kalonzo is actually one of them, because he has a value and his camper base is quite big. And, his ability to, moderate this base for such a long time actually increases his strategic value in the coalition that is going to come up in 2027. So could he bridge actually the gap between the opposition fractions, or even tilt its power in favor of them, being able to form a very formidable alliance that can win the election in 2027? Because when you're talking about the opposition, you're now looking at the likes of Matiang'i and the likes of Rigathi Gachagua, who are majorly known and have come out clearly to say that they really want to remove Ruto out of power.
Wanadhani mimi Kalonzo wa Musyoka naweza kuingia serikali aina hiyo? Afadhali kwetu Sekuru pande hii niwe na roho safi, because I can't, my conscience will not allow me. For the love of this nation, we will stand. Hata William Ruto anajua Kalonzo atakuwa mpinzani wake. Hiyo anajua wazi. Anajua hiyo. Na kuna mengine wazi.
Kalonzo Musyoka stands today at a unique crossroad caught between, power and principle. Kindiki's Bacons and Kenya Kwanza's, and ODM, Gachagua defending him. The ultimate choice is upon him to decide how the future will look like for him. Because at the moment, he stands at a very well positioned at the Kenya's political landscape? Will he stand firm? That is the real question. Will the opposition unite and pick him as the favorable candidate, or will he at the end join Ruto's government because there is much pressure from ODM and Kindiki trying to woo him to join them? Anyway, share with me your thoughts in the comment section. As the political temperature rises now that 2027 is just 1 year away, do you think Kalonzo can become the president of Kenya? And which side do you support? Are you with the opposition or are you pro-government? I mean, that is 1 term or 2 term. Thank you very much for tuning up to the end. I mean, all I can say is to wish Kalonzo the best because he has stand with Raila for such a long time, and now this is his moment. Anyway, that brings me to the end of this video. If you found this video impactful, I want you to take 3 seconds of this video to just hit on that subscribe button and also hit on that notification bell so that anytime I do a video, you're able to be notified. Until next time, adios.